Hi, I'm Jessica Lopes, and today I'm going to take you behind the scenes of our auditing workflow at Jones, specifically how our AI-driven, human-in-the-loop process ensures faster turnarounds and accurate compliance reviews for our customers. Let's dive in. This is what the auditor sees right after a user uploads the documents to our platform. The AI reviews the document packet in under a minute, pre-populating the findings and guiding the auditor throughout the decision-making process. Here, on the left of our screen, we have the requirements, and on the right, we have the documents submitted by the subcontractor. You'll notice that on the requirements page, we have on the right pane any auditing preferences from our customers that vary from our auditing standards at Jones. I don't intend to walk you through the full audit. Instead, let's dive into the more exciting parts, starting with general liability. Here you can notice how the AI was able to extract all the policy details that matter, like the policy number, the policy expiration date, all according to what's written on the COI. You can also see that the limits that were required are met on the COI, therefore the resolution is yes for all of them, meaning they're compliant. Moving on to provisions and endorsements, you'll see how primary, waiver subrogation, and additional assured endorsements are required. Primary and waiver subrogation are not required as endorsements, meaning language in the COI should be sufficient. And when you hover over the resolution suggested by the AI, you noticed how it shows exactly where the information was found. In this case, in the description of operations box right here, when it says that they are included as additional assureds on a primary and non-contributory basis for general liability, umbrella, and auto. On the endorsement side, the review is super interesting and very in-depth. When you hover over the suggested resolution, you can click on this button and you'll be sent straight to the page where that endorsement was found. And you'll also notice how the AI is showing what this endorsement covers. This is based on our own endorsement index put together by our endorsement specialists at Jones. And the AI is able to check if there is any policy number that is not matching with the COI, or if there are any watermarks that are invalidating this form. In this case, everything seems all right, so we can indeed keep the resolution suggested by the AI as compliant for both ongoing and completed ops in this case. Now, moving on to per project aggregate, you'll see how the AI is suggesting that you flag this as a gap, because when we go back to the COI, it's indeed missing, but we do have a customer-specific preference that this should never be flagged as a gap. I'm going to check this rule here, confirming that I've read it, and I'm going to change this resolution to yes, validating the customer preference. And this is a perfect example why having a human in the loop is so important. The AI can make suggestions, but the decision in the end of the day falls under the human reviewer. Now, for workers' compensation, you see that the waiver of subrogation requirement is not asking for simple language in the description of operations box, but it's actually asking for an endorsement, which means there needs to be a separate page providing this coverage. In this case here, none was found, and the auditor can verify that through the table of contents and also scrolling through the document, which only contains 2 pages in this example, and yes, doesn't have waiver of subrogation endorsement. So this is going to be kept as a gap. Lastly, I want to show you the additional assured requirements. When you hover over an entity required, you can see what the suggestion is. In this case here, the suggestion is to flag this entity as a gap. And when you go to the tooltip, it's telling you that this entity is completely missing, absent across all documents. It's true. We don't have that in the endorsement page, and we don't have that in the description of operations box. So it is a gap that we're going to keep. Now, on the second entity, you notice how it's not marked as a gap, and there is a clear instruction that this entity was found, and there is a match on the description box. Same happens with the third entity, but not with the fourth. On the fourth entity, we have a suggestion to flag it as a gap. So in this case, there is a mismatch. Northbridge Urban Development Group LLC was required, but what was provided was an entity name lacking the urban, which completely changes the legal entity name and therefore creates liability. So this is going to be flagged as a gap with quotation marks on urban to make super clear what the problem was. Lastly, it's required that the additional assureds are included in regards to GL and umbrella, which according to the DOO, they are, which concludes our additional assured review, and the AI was very accurate, but as you can see, the human can always verify, validating that the suggestions that were made are actually accurate and ready to be submitted to the subcontractor. And this concludes our audit. When I click next, I'm able to go to a summary of all of the coverage gaps that were flagged before submitting a notification to the subcontractor. And that's it. Audit completed. Fast, accurate, just a perfect blend between artificial intelligence and expert human judgment. Thanks for watching.